Hello, my name is ALTAY MALAZGIRT. I'm an elite gymnast turned fitness entrepreneur, and I'm also a Guinness World Record athlete. And this is my Unplugged. When did I realize that I was more than a coach? That's a very good question. I think I realized it when I was in my sales career and I was working 12, 13-hour days, growing the sales organization through my individual efforts, also managing a small team. But I realized when one day we were on a fitness retreat, right, with the team, and I was waking up early every single day to work out. And my CEO came up to me one day and he says, "Were you waking up this early to work out?" And I said, "Yeah, of course. I've been doing this for years." And he's like, "That's the reason why you're our sales guy." And then he asked me to actually put together a fitness program for the sales team so that I could help them get into shape and have more mental discipline when they're doing their calls and their sales. And this is where I realized that I was more than just a coach. What changed in my life is that I no longer work in corporate. I no longer work in sales. Of course, everything is sales, day in and day out, right? Like we're selling our services as coaches now. But what's changed is that I now lead my own life. I coach when I want, I train when I want. And my goal right now is to chase the goals that I know I'm capable of doing and to helping others also unlock the goals that they know they're achievable. I think the hardest thing is always fear, right? You never know what's gonna come. You never know what's on the other side of that discomfort. But I always say that growth is behind that discomfort. Like it's always hiding behind that uncomfortable conversation that you need to have, that uncomfortable step that you need to take, and the hours that you need to put in for you to grow. And so for me, the hardest one was overcoming that fear. And also, what would people think, right? When I told them, hey, I'm letting go of my six-figure cozy sales job and I'm going on a route that we don't know where it's going to take me. Yeah, what I think realized in my mind, what made me realize in my mind that I was ready to make this jump is because you can always find me working out. You can always find me pushing my limits and trying to, better myself every single day. And I realized what was making me truly happy was chasing those goals. And I wanted to have more time to chase those goals for myself. And I knew through that conversation that I had with my CEO that I had something special and there was something that people were looking to me for. And that was not just sales. I might be good at sales, but I think what I'm great at is being a coach and helping people really unlock their best selves. Oh, morning times. Like I wake up every day at 4:30 and for me, I'm working just on my computer, in my thoughts, in my journal, like getting more of those creative and strategic ideas out until around 8:30, 9 a.m. And that's when my first clients start, or that's when I have to go and teach a class. I teach a class over here down the street. And so for me, the day starts when I wake up. I have my coffee, I have my water, and I do a little bit of reading, but then I jump into working on the computer from around 5:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock every day. The hardest thing about managing your business is reminding yourself every single day that you're doing the right things that are getting you closer to where you need to be, right? Because I think self-doubt creeps in all the time. You just need to make sure that you're doing the right things day in and day out that will get you closer to where you want to go. And progress is sometimes not seen from day to day, right? It's seen weeks or months at a time, and you just need to remind yourself that you're doing the right things. So a really good question. For example, today I'm feeling absolutely just tanked. I'm so tired. I've had 4 days of intense training, back to back to back, and I'm working on a new project that I'm very excited to announce. And so how do I balance it? I know what my limit is, and I'm very hyper aware of my limits, and I know exactly when I need to step back and take a rest. And so what I do in order to manage is I find myself the time where I know exactly how I can focus on one thing, right? If it's training, it's just training. If it's client coaching, it's just client coaching. If it's building something strategic and creative, then I focus the time on that. For me, it's very important to know exactly when I can show up to be my best self for that specific task. Yeah, the habits that keep me in shape. So I have to go to sleep by 9 p.m., latest 9:30 p.m. I'm closing off the screen probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock because I don't want that to mess up with my recovery. I must eat whole foods. I must drink a lot of water. I must cut out alcohol. That doesn't mean I'll do it long term, right? I do like my red wine. But for example, when I really want to get into focus mode, and let's say I'm building right now on a very important project, I do want to cut out alcohol so that I can really be focused. And last but not least, I need to dedicate myself the time to recover, right? Because training for me has been something I've been doing since I was 5 years old, right? I was an elite gymnast from the age of 5. But from there, you always then have to turn off, right? And it's turning off that sometimes is the most difficult thing for me. Yeah, so I want to be recognized for all the things that I'm doing, and in the sense that if I can chase a world record, or if I can chase goals that might seem super ambitious and might be delusional to some people. But if I can achieve those by following a certain system that I know works for me to reach the edge of a world record or to reach the edge of those goals, then I know that that system can work for others too. I want my business to tell people and to always remind people that, hey, look, looking good is just a byproduct of the habits that we implement day after day. And I feel like that's what's missing in the industry today. Everyone wants to look good. Sure, we all want to look good and feel good. Don't forget about that. But the way that happens is if you show up every single day. And that's the approach I'm taking in my business. So whether it's today or in 5 years down the road, I want you to look to me and say, hey man, this guy inspires me to show up every single day because he's doing it himself. Yeah, so I'm an enroller. So what that means is I enroll people into my vision. So whatever I'm working on in the moment, I can quickly speak to you and I can find what your strengths are and I can find how you might be able to fit into my vision and also how you might be able to help me, but also how I can help you. This is not a one-way street, this is a two-way street. So I will enroll you in my vision so that you can then enroll me in your strengths and we can work together as a whole. What inspires me is really pushing me to a level of discomfort that allows me to understand, hey, look, again, growth hides behind discomfort, right? If I can get into a position where I am uncomfortable, then I know I am growing because most of the time we're doing things that we're already good at and that's fine, but we need to challenge ourselves to develop new skills, right? To go through the process of developing those skills and developing the habits that allow us to then master those skills. So I think the one thing that inspires me the most is really how can I push myself to a limit so that I can really reach a new level of understanding of what my capabilities are. I want my clients, I want my students, I want whoever I'm working with to understand that, hey, look, like consistency is the number one thing that will beat any kind of pain or discomfort or negative thoughts that you're having right now. If you just show up day in and day out, then you will reach your goals no matter what. Someone asked me the other day, how do I stay consistent? And my answer to that is, in the very beginning, it's very hard. But once you stay consistent and you start enjoying the process, then you will show up because you actually enjoy it. And then second thing you might be asking yourself is, how do I enjoy it, right? I don't enjoy working out is something that I hear from a lot of people sometimes. Once you start seeing the results, you will enjoy it. But you can only start seeing results if you stay consistent. So I want everyone, when they work with me, to understand that. So for me, you are who you believe you are. It's very simple. Like if you think that you can't do something, you're already losing the battle, right? You must believe in who you are meant to be, and then you can achieve all of your goals. This is tied to the concept of self-image. If you have a self-image that tells you, hey, I can't do this, you'll never be able to do it. So you at least must believe in yourself. No one's gonna believe in you, so you have to believe in yourself. And it's okay to be delusional. It's okay to think that, hey, I wanna do this insane, audacious goal. That's fine. As long as you believe in it, there's a way for you to move forward. So you are who you believe you are. If it's something that you enjoy doing, do it. Don't do it for the money. Is there money in this industry? Sure, there's money in any industry if you're good at what you do. But what separates people that are good at what they do and people that are loving what they do is, again, that passion that brings it. And if you show up day in and day out with something that you love, which is fitness in this case for all the future coaches out there, do it because you enjoy doing it, because making money will be easy, and then showing up day in and day out will be easy. In one word, it might be two words, but up and down. There's so many roller coasters in life, but when you start building a business, it's almost every single day, right? And it's understanding how you can smoothen that journey, right? And make that roller coaster a bit more enjoyable. Yeah, no, I think my parting message is just show up every single day, but set goals for yourself that allows you to push up against that edge of uncertainty, because they say that growth is always on the edge of uncertainty. I also like to say that growth, I've said it multiple times already, hides behind discomfort. So put yourselves in a position where you are being uncomfortable so that you can grow. You're probably already doing it in the gym, right? Trainers will trace discomfort because, you know, we're meant to train, but also put yourself in the minds of, okay, how can I do this in other fields? Building a business, right? And my parting message just after that is, it's a pleasure to be part of this community. I'm really looking forward to meeting more coaches, and I want to get to know people that are chasing goals just like me.